I'll be taking my ruler and measuring 3 centimeters off the top. Exactly 3 centimeters on the longer edge of this sheet of paper. I would advise you to be using a very strong piece of paper, a stronger piece, so that it will be able to hold many objects. For example, when you're going shopping, that's why you may require a more stiff piece of paper. After measuring, we'll need to press down hard, but you have to ensure that you have gotten exact measurements, or your bag will not have the ability to stand well, or you may have some issues later on with the bag. And that's why I am ensuring it's the same height all through. Once you're done with the measurements, place a ruler at the 3 centimeters line. And fold accordingly. Pressing down on the ruler so that it can go in a line, but later on we'll press it down from the top. This is a big sheet of paper, so we might need to turn it over a couple of times so that you can get the exact measurements. Or if you have a big space and you're standing, it would also be fine. Press down with your hand, and later on ensure it's 3 centimeters exactly, after which you will be pressing down with the ruler. Just pressing down. As you have seen as you're pressing down, you need to be very, very careful, you have to press it down with your hand, so that when you're pressing it down with the ruler, you'll be very precise. Now that it's folded, we'll have to test whether it can still fold, and put some glue on the upper side of the paper. In this case, I'll be using a hot glue gun, because in our opinion, it was the best option for us, but any kind of glue that can, a strong glue that can stick well, would be fine. PVC glue can also be used, but at some times it may cause problems with the strong smell, but any other strong glue may do. From there, I'll be measuring exactly 4 centimeters off the shorter edge, and precisely 4 centimeters. You have to ensure that it's 4 centimeters all through. This is why we needed a ruler, so that it could guide you through the whole process. Now that you've made the marks on the piece of paper, make sure that the other edge, after folding, has met all the lines. And once you are completely satisfied that it's done and it's exactly the way it was supposed to be, you may press down on the piece of paper and straighten it down, push it down, press it down with a ruler. The 4 centimeters where we had measured is going to have to be folded in. And I'll use my glue gun to put some glue on the flap so that it may stick well to the bag. I'll press it down with my hands. As you can see, it's now sort of in a bag shape in terms of the basic appearance. I have noticed that, actually my father noticed that it hadn't stuck well, so he warned me. This was very important because if it doesn't stick well to the piece of paper, you may have to redo the whole process, thus making your work untidy, or if you're not careful, you can even rip it. I'll be measuring exactly 9 centimeters off the shorter edge. And placing my ruler to ensure the straightness and that they're all in line. And I'll put it on the other side so that we can now fold it in. You have to press it down with a ruler so that the space you'll be using to make the bottom of the bag is well, it's well so that you cannot make mistakes. From The from the right hand side, you'll press it down. You'll press the corner of the bag down on both sides, on the left and the right, and this is how it will look after pressing it down. You'll have to use a ruler to press it down so that your work can be better. For the top flap, you'll have to fold it into until the corner crease, the center crease, and put some glue so that it sticks. From the bottom flap, you'll need to put it a small distance higher than the previous flap, and put a sufficient amount of glue so that the bottom of this bag may stick. As you can see, it now looks more like a bag, but we are not done yet. Since the bottom will be carrying so many things, and the bag will be carrying so many things in your case, you'll need to use glue so that it doesn't open from the bottom and spill all your goods on the ground. From one of the longer edges, you can start with your right or left edge. Fold it into the corners of the flaps which you had made. And ensure that it's well pressed down. Do this for the other side as well. You'll need to be very careful that while you're making the bag, you'll need to be very careful that the corners are aligned. Otherwise, your work may be ruined. Press it down with a ruler so that it is better after pressing it down. Open the bag, open the flaps, and put in your arm so that it's opened at the top. From one of the sides, one of the longer edges, you'll need to fold in the center crease, folding it into the center of the bag. This might take a while, so you'll need to be extremely careful to avoid any problems. Don't force the bag. Just do your work with a gentle touch so that your bag will not be teared or have any any problems later on. We'll have to do the same for the other side. As you can see, the part closer to the bottom will have to be very well and carefully done as you press it in. And your bag is almost done. In fact, it's basically finished. The base can even be opened so that you can let it stand. As you do this, be careful with the other sides. We're almost done. Press it down with your hands, not necessarily a ruler, but you can also use a ruler. And unless you're going to be carrying something immediately, you'll have to be folding the bottom flap in. This is a paper punch that I'll be using to punch in holes where the string will go in, or the handles for the bag. As you can see, they are equally spaced out. We'll need such a distance of string. And for the other handle, you'll need to measure with the other piece of string and cut it accordingly. You should use a strong piece of string, so that it could be able to hold on to the bag without tearing. I would advise that you'd use a piece of cardboard, a rectangular piece of cardboard, and put it inside the bag where the handles are supposed to be, punching it also so that the holes are equal, so that it can make the bag more stable. With this tie, after you have put the string inside the holes, you'll have to tie knots on the handles of the bags. So that you can be able to hold the bag well. This may take some time depending on the thickness of the string, but I would prefer a thick string. Although it may take some time making the knots, it will serve you well. We'll need to tie it very, very well, so that it can be able to stick like that. You'll be able to hold it. I'll be doing this on the other side, so even though it's not visible, I'll still be tying the knots. My brother Jafred is actually holding the camera. Even though he's not visible, he's doing a very good job. Ensure the knot is very well secured. You may need to lift it off the surface so that it may be able to be carefully slipped in and tied. If you want the handle to be longer, if you want your bag to have a longer handle, you may also do that. But in my case, due to the size of the bag, I would actually, not due to the size, but because of my likes, I would prefer a longer handle. As you can see, the string is sturdy enough to be held. So if you can see, that is a packet of straws, a box of matches, and a ruler. I'll be using these items to demonstrate how just the basic minimums of what we'll be using. As you can see, I'll be demonstrating how to carry this. The bag is very strong.